Gamer diversity, some something like that. So I thought I'd start with a little vignette. At some point in late September, early October, I was featured on the Xbox Live Gamer Spotlight. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. Yeah, Xbox.
So for a week, my profile was up and featured on the Xbox Live website, as well as on the dashboard. Go to the community, you scroll all the way to the end, and like, hey, featured gamer of the week. Awesome sauce. Except that I got flooded with messages. And the way that it breaks down is there were about, and I actually wrote about this for a paper, so I decided in a great moment of lucid thought, which are very rare, to take pictures of all of the unique messages that I got that weren't just hello or hi or derivatives of that. I took pictures of all of them. There were over 1,000 messages, and the breakdown is something like 18% of them were congratulations, or hey, I saw that you were in the spotlight, congrats, etc. Or somehow acknowledging that. And then the next category were either come-ons or insults. So I thought I would show some examples.
Lovely.
This
should be funny.
Always fun. And if you are familiar with the website fatunhereslutty.com, I'm pretty much like single-handedly giving you content for like, the rest of the year. Just letting you know. Some of this might be really.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, check out that because some of this is good.
That's gonna be good.
The answer to a lot of these questions are no.
Is the answer to any of them yes?
Are you hot? I mean, it's subjective. I like to think so. But, okay. But, I guess it follows with dramatic readings. Hopefully I had somebody in like, if all else fails, well, I guess I'll just get started. I want your puss juice. Do you give out free blowjobs? And then as part of my profile, I mentioned that I was studying gender in music games. So, you're terrible. Gender in music games. What does that even mean? Just stop and do the dishes.
Oh.
She's adding a little bit of grammar that's not quite right.
Exactly.
And you're not getting the spelling. How many that's what I'm saying.
All of them. You are trashy and a horrifically bad musician. I pray you get the herpes.
Wow.
You are gay. I'm not.
Yeah.
Want to suck my dick? Oh, this was my favorite. This was actually the title of a paper that I wrote for class. Cat love and fag. I love it. I hate your soul. I hope the devil comes and sodomizes you on national television and a few AM radio stations.
How is that even going to work? I can.
Okay. I'm a dog walk you all over your house and PhD flop you have my cum all over your body and it's gonna look like Hurricane Trina whipped your ass out. Oh, go work your corner. Sort of the kind of classic responses to sort of female gamers, like mistrust in skills, like people don't kind of trust any skills that you may have. So, wow, did you get those achievements in Borderlands, or did your boyfriend? As Roland would say, it was all me. This was kind of funny. Whatever. Bitch, quit playing video games and get a real job.
No.
Says the introduction.
Most useless PhD I've ever heard of. I know. So, you know, okay, get back to the kitchen. Want to see my penis, then video chat with me? Although in all of this, I was actually kind of surprised. I only got 2 wiener pictures. Just the 2. I was kind of like, oh.
Were they good? Were they good?
They were not that impressive. Because I'm like, at the very least.
Well, that's no fun. That's not fun at all.
Look yourself up if you're trying to represent yourself.
I mean, from what I know of the Xbox Live Spotlight, it's only an avatar you're seeing. You're not even seeing a picture of what
Maybe it looks like me.
But they don't even know that.
Right, that's why we
Yeah. So it's like, you know, are you as hot as your avatar? Or
No.
you sound sexy, you seem sexy, show me a pic. And then a whole bunch of titties. This one kind of makes me think there's 2 messages sent back to them. I know. It took me a minute. LOL, dumb whore plays PX2. Ha, dumb bitch. What are you gonna do about it, slut? Learn to play real games, bitch.
Wow, you're running that much better. Most of those are single letters.
Yeah. Followed by, oh sorry, FX2. Pinball FX2. Fucking dirty vagina horse slut bag bitch. Oh yeah, pwned by a 10-year-old. Whoa! Ass fucking dick sucker. I mean for the future.
That makes
Whatever. So, I know. Let me correct myself on that end. I got a name of the game.
I'm wrong about one small fact.
Okay, well, the one it's landing on is gonna be. So I mean, you know, you guys jump in, talk amongst yourselves.
So, I mean,
Yeah. Yay! I love being a woman in game.
all right, so clearly this isn't all of us, and yet we are representatives. And so why does this come across, and why do we hit this undercurrent of knowledge, right? Because we often talk about the fact that this exists. We very rarely talk about why, as soon as we get anonymity, we hit this moment where we have undirected people, right? She's a total stranger to all these people, represented only by a digital avatar, and she means nothing to any of them, and yet this is the thing that they'll jump to. So what is behind that? What causes that? Leaning back to reply to some question. I don't have an answer.
I mean, this just to me speaks a lot of, you know, I think we see a lot of, I think you see a lot about, especially in MMOs and things, you see women going in and playing as men, you know, for the purpose of hiding their gender, or just not having to deal with it as a factor, you know, in terms of socializing, not wanting to be presented with this, not wanting to have to deal with people, you know, bragging on them and everything. Which is really interesting, you know, especially for me, you know, as a male who plays as a female. It's interesting that I think there are probably, you know, it speaks to sort of different reasons for cross-gender avatar.
Well, it was really interesting to me, granted, this is a different direction, but when I was running the MMO company and we were testing, I ran into a lot of very, very hardcore MMO players, right? And all the min-maxers said the same thing. You play a female avatar, because as far as min-maxing goes, it's strictly better for you. Which says also something about the state of this virtual existence.
Yeah, it says something that that there's an element of trust inherent in the idea that you are representing yourself somewhat with this avatar. That you play as a female and you get roses and gold and more help with quests and all that stuff. But then instinctively, there's something in you that knows that you can take anything you want, right? So it's kind of interesting the way that there's that sort of inherent kind of trust that what you represent yourself as is somehow a piece of yourself, and then people give you shit.
Well, it's really interesting to me that I think we as gamers as a whole are obviously much more diverse in the real world than we ever are in online representations.
Yeah.
You know, in games we don't see as many women representations. You know, women, we don't see as many representations of different races. We don't see different body types and all these things. All of that sort of gets homogenized into this sort of more average, sort of idealized. Exactly. Online everyone is like, a white male, like, handsome.
Wow, if they're all female or not.
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of the population.
Yeah, fight the blue man. Or, a different shade of green, but, you can't get as tan as you'd like.
I think it even holds true of places like Second Life, where you can be whatever you want. You can walk around with a giant penis if you want. There are avatar skins out there, but people still don't. There still is a trend towards to sort of to wash out some of those more visible characteristics that in the real world separate us, or draw attention, and just sort of wash those out in the virtual world.
Well, the really interesting thing about Second Life, although having the economy largely been just with that prostitution, I have some questions about using it as a data source. The interesting thing for me about Second Life is that if you observe, you'll see very few people who have a human representation deviate from what we consider the standard idealized representation of a human being in our society. You see even though they're totally capable of the engine, you see very few people who are obese. You see very few people who have all the flaws, the characteristics that we actually have in real life. So it's interesting that even within this context.
Anyways, you were
Bro.
saying something incredibly.
Good job, Mr. Moderator.
Brilliant.
But I mean, again, all I'm saying is that.
What was I saying? So, all we were saying we have the capacity.
Aww.
We have the capacity to do anything in these worlds, and yet we tend to lean towards the same kind of idealized.
And I think, we get placed that same universe. I honestly don't know what it is, but I'm wondering what drives that capacity.
Wait, here's a question. So, I'm sure that you guys are familiar with this idea of pervasive accuracy. The idea that we often present in virtual worlds a sort of idealized self, and we sort of, in virtual worlds we're prettier and more fit, and because that's what we'd like to be. Our characters are more intelligent than us because we wish we were a little more intelligent. I wonder if it's that or this factor of trying to avoid things like this that are happening. Is it women saying, well, obviously women always want to be men in such a direct sense, but why is it that we say that that's an idealized self, or is it more a reflection of what's just sort of default?
Define.
So you're saying that we kind of go with the crowd in order to avoid cracks? Am I reading you right?
Yeah.